Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know if you like to be told what to do or if you like to be told what to think, how to think, and what opinions you should have regarding certain issues. Unless you make up your mind based on your research and your preferences and the knowledge that you have. And then you can, have a conversation, a debate with whomever wants to make you think in a certain way and exchange information and learn based on that conversation. Or, you always learn actually, because it's nothing that is finite. It's the end of the story right now. We can't learn about things. You always can learn. So, in this case, we have a Ukrainian leader his name is Danilov, who makes some very dangerous and inaccurate, I would say, statements comparing Putin and Hitler, saying that there's no difference between them. I think that this person does not really know much, or if he knows much, then he is not a good person. He just tries to say things with pathos, but no logos. So let's see what this guy is talking about. So this article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from September 14th, 2022. And this is by Danilov. Danilov is just a defense, he's the Ukraine's national secretary of the Ukraine National Security and Defense Council, Alexei Danilov. So he says that world must finally understand that Putin is no different from Hitler. Okay, well, when someone says this, I'm waiting for the argumentation. I'm waiting for this person to provide evidence, because we can't just make statements and otherwise I make statements, I don't know, that's good or that bad, and you ask me, okay, wait, why? Go that way, you need to know why. Why is that good? Why is that bad? Okay, so at least that's how it used to be in my civilization. I don't know how it's in Danilov's. So the world should finally understand that Russian dictator Vladimir Putin is no different from Hitler, Secretary of Ukraine National Security and Defense Council Alexei Danilov said in an interview with Polish news website Wirtualna Polska on September 13. Now, Danilov is walking a very dangerous line, because he tries to elevate Putin to a level of evilness that cannot be surpassed, because it depends a lot of fates depend on Hitler being the most evil person on this planet, and once you try to take that thunder away, then you're gonna have some people coming and questioning you and calling you, and you better lower everybody below Adolf. I'm not going to say more because we can't say more. In his remarks, Danilov noted that when World War II began, 26 countries formed an anti-fascist coalition. Well, actually, Mr. Danilov, I don't think that's true. The coalition was not anti-fascist coalition, was anti this axis versus that axis. And I would have to remind Mr. Danilov, which I guess he doesn't know or he ignores, how the Second World War started. When it was between, I'm not going to go into details with the Danzig corridor that some historians say, and could be proven, that Poland negotiated the Danzig corridor in bad faith, because France and Great Britain, mainly Great Britain, told Poles, if don't bother talking with these guys, and if they invade you, we're gonna declare war and we're gonna support you. So Poland did not have to discuss with Germany about the majority German population in Danzig and the Danzig corridor, the port over there and so on. So Germany gave them an ultimatum and invaded. Good thing? No, I don't think it was a good thing, obviously, right? You invade another country, but you can get to a solution. What are you going to do? I don't know. I think the Poles should have thought about a solution with the Danzig corridor, but they didn't want to. Okay, the Germans invaded Poland. Germany versus Poland, 1-on-1. Okay, it was not 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 3-5-5. No, The World War started when Great Britain and France declared war against Germany. Then we have 4 countries. That's when it started. Otherwise, it would have been one-on-one. Poland versus Germany. There wouldn't have been a world war. So those guys declare war, Germany declared war, then these guys declare war, those guys declare war, and then the Axis and all that came to form. That's how it formed. It was not against the ideology of Nazism. It was about these guys are going to take our territory. But Danilov makes that point because he thinks that we don't really know. So now, I'm quoting Danilov, we see the need to form an anti-Putin coalition. He said during the interview, it's true that the response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine was a meeting of more than 40 countries at the US military base Ramstein in Germany. But I'm talking about something more. I'm talking about protecting fundamental values. According to Danilov, there are countries that do not consider Russia an aggressor or terrorist state. And I'm quoting, the world should finally understand that Putin is no different from Hitler. I'm still waiting for the argumentation. He said, Hitler was obsessed with killing Jews and Putin wants to kill Ukrainians. So that's his argumentation. But many leaders do not understand what war is, he said. We are paying with our lives of our people for the freedom and security of all of Europe, and some politicians are juxtaposing war and higher gas bills. All right, so let's see here. Why is a military base in Germany? Danilov. How many American troops are in Germany? Danilov. And what's the reason? Because they are friends, right? Okay, so that's the first point. Second one. On this planet, I think right now there are 194 countries, I think, something like that. 94, 92, it depends how you recognize. So let's say 94, 194. And there are 40 countries that are forming your coalition and agreeing with you. Some of them were made to be over there. They were like, hey, are you going to be with us or what? Yeah, I will be. So some of them like this. Basically, there's about 1 or 2 or maximum 3 countries that really form that coalition. That would be United States, Great Britain, and the leaders of Ukraine. These would probably be the only countries that would go against Russia as they go right here. The rest have to. All right, so let's put it 40. 40 out of 194. So that's how much? Let's say 40 out of 200, right? So how much is that? That is about, or 20%, 20%. That's a minority. That's a tiny minority. All right? And if someone wants to make a point, I will make this. Imagine you play soccer or football against another team and you lose 1-5. How was that beating? Was that beating serious, or it was just beating almost narrow? We lost narrowly. 5-1. That's a big. You scored one time and the other was 5. Okay, so that's how it is. All right. So you are a minority, and you tell the rest of the world that you are on the right and everybody is on the wrong. Now this guy acts as a paranoid person who thinks that his issues are the ones that everybody else have to care for, and they're the most important issues, and he's the center of the universe, that everybody has to come and agree with him and go and attack Russia, and they don't realize that he's sacrificing for everyone. Okay, he is sacrificing for, no, it's not. We're not connected through an umbilical cord here. You and Russia, like Poland and Germany, should have solved the Danzig corridor and the issue of the eastern Ukraine with Russian population. Majority, okay? Majority Russian population. But you didn't. You didn't implement the Minsk agreements in 2014, so they gave you 8 years. All right? And the 8 years they said, well, you're still killing them, we're going to intervene. So I don't know why would you say, I know why he would say, that these people don't understand and they still consider Russia not an aggressor. Well, there's many reasons why they might do that, but you ignore those reasons because you call it unprovoked. But some people might find certain justification in unprovoked. The fact that you, this country, right now Ukraine, is able to do what it's doing shows militarily, it might show that the Russians had a point where they said that their security is threatened by militarization of Ukraine. You can't just stop Russia and have a counteroffensive with no army. So it seems like you really, some people from outside pumped a lot of military arms. They provided with a lot of arms here, right? Weapons. And besides, we go to 2014 when Ukraine's legitimate, democratically elected government was overthrown with the help and cooperation from outside forces. You know how that's called? That's called treason, Danilov. And then the guys in the East could not vote in your election, so you're actually illegitimate. So it's a lot of things. When you conflate Putin with Hitler, which I said when the war started, the 24th of February 2022, I said these guys will bring Putin and Hitler in about a week together in the titles. They did it in 3 days. They start slowly and then they got him. The second Hitler is right here, that's Putin. And now you just say that you want everyone to think the way you want us to think. Well, guess not. I'm not thinking that way. I think there's many, many nuances and details that really is not black and white, is not good versus evil, is not a dogma, is not a religious thing, but you want us to be. What are you going to do to me or to others that have questions? Are we going to be imprisoned? Are we going to be ostracized? Are we going to be arrested for allegedly cooperating with someone else, like you're doing right now in Ukraine, and you go after the people in the liberated territories? You know, I think we should leave Hitler where he's at, and we should focus on Putin with the whole, you know, the entirety of a person. He said Hitler was obsessed with Jews. Well, Hitler did not do everything he did it was not about the Jews, everything. Look at Hitler as an entirety, and you're going to find much, much more than that Jewish, as he said, problem or whatever. Okay? It's more. But if you choose to ignore everything else and you go over that, yeah, you can make from that the pinnacle, the pillar, and so on. Obviously, you did not read the Nazi political platform or its points, and you just focus on one out of many. So if you want to do that, you're not going to reach the scientific conclusions just by ignoring everything else and focusing only on one that you like. So anyway, I think Danilov is what he is, but I think he's walking a dangerous line, because that certain group will not like this comparison between Putin and Hitler, because that would minimize Hitler. That means will minimize his atrocities. Or is gonna have Putin get some spotlight from Hitler and from them. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.